Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hard Knocks debuted the 2021 season last night on HBO. I watched it, featuring America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. And it's funny, this morning, USA Today had a headline, 5 takeaways from Hard Knocks. I started reading it. I'm like, what am I reading this for? I don't need your 5 takeaways. I got a couple. Number one, I was not the biggest Dak Prescott fan. I think people that watch this show know that. I'm less of a Dak Prescott fan coming out of watching this show. What a whiner. What a whiner. Look, I understand you want to take every rep. I get it. You can't take every single rep. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
He was very upset
that he couldn't.
That he was pulled early in this training camp a couple of weeks ago because they want to give the backups some work. Danny Bonaducci, the backup quarterback. Well, Ben DiNucci's his name, but I call him Danny Bonaducci, which means nothing to you, do you? He was the star of the Partridge Family. Anyways, that was one. Dak, come on, stop whining. Let these other guys have some work. And then, of course, he ends up getting hurt. 2, the biggest one was Jera. When he was talking to the team, I thought it was the head therapist. You said it was the team doctor.
Yeah, it was one of the two.
Yeah. So he's writing with an HB pencil these notes on Dak, talking with the medical staff on the phone. And we all take away different things. But my thing was this. He's eating a McDonald's Egg McMuffin, Jera Jones. And people are saying, well, what's odd about that? He's worth $7-8 billion. How did he not have a Red Seal chef at his ready? You know, here you go, Mr. Jones. You know, with his choice, an omelet station.
Yeah, exactly. He's got Benedict or something like.
Right. An omelet station, a guy cutting a roast at the end of the table. Jerry, when you're done with the trainer, we have your choice here of ham, roast beef. Do you want that in your omelet, Mr. Jones?
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show. Right now.
I'm wearing headphones, rocking it back, old school radio days.
How about that?
And somebody said it looks like I'm plugged into a Walkman. And I remember when I got my first Walkman, because my brothers and I had to share it. And I was the youngest, so how often do you think I got it? And you had your case of cassettes, and then people started to crap on your music selection. And I'm like, then bring yours then! How many times did we have that conversation at parties?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the RP Show. We are live on Game Plus Television Network across all 10 Canadian provinces and 31 U.S. states. Also streaming on YouTube Live, and we're coming to you from the Stage Bar at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. It's the first day of our last week of our residency in this wonderful resort and casino. And then we'll be heading home for a while and then coming back next month. But we're ready to talk sports for the next 2 hours. The Moose is still not with us. He's still doing business in Arizona. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome to the broadcast for the next 2 hours, sports executive, entrepreneur, Lee Genier, good and longtime friend of mine. How you doing, Lee?
I am doing fantastic. Thanks, Roddy.
Have you got some hot takes? You always got hot takes. So you always have hot takes. I'm wondering if you're going to bring them on the air today or not.
Yeah, I'm going to bring my A game. So
let's go. Do. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go. Hey, before we hit the Quick Six show horn, we always do the Monday morning photo album, and I'm not going to pry and ask for yours, Lee, but here are mine, brought to you by Great Western Brewing Company, the weekend photo album, because it was a wonderful photo generated weekend. You know that guy. Look at your screen, Lee. You know that guy, Brad Kraft, the president of the Saskatchewan Rattlers. The CEBL's in town for the BCLA tournament. Crafty and I had a little coffee down at the Westin, and that was Friday. Man, the weekend started great. Moving it along, because tonight the Edmonton Stingers playing. Long story, we'll get to that. Bianca Del Rio. This is RuPaul meets Andrew Dice Clay. Okay, here at the event center.
How about
wonderful that? Sold out. Oh yeah, foul. She would make Andrew Dice Clay blush with the language and the stuff. Have you seen her?
Yeah, I have.
It's amazing.
I don't know if we can repeat anything on air.
You can't. So. The Queen of Ranch, Bianca Del Rio. She put on a great show. And actually, since Friday, she's already performed in Edmonton and Saskatoon. And I think lastly, guys? What do you have here? This was out in beautiful Canmore, Alberta yesterday. My cousin Ethan Schaefer looked like he might have played his last ever junior game with the Eagles, but they didn't. They won 5-2 over Camrose to force a deciding Game 7, but we wanted to get a photo with Ethan. He's had a tremendous junior career, and it's going to go for at least a few more days or weeks. So I think am I the only one who provided photos? Yes, I am. As always, RP Show photo album presented by Great Western Brewing Company. Extra smooth, extra refreshing. Find Original 16 at a store near you today. Although, I really like their tagline that I heard at the Rush game. Great Western Original 16, the best beer in the game. On the way today, Lee Genier, as I say. Also, Sportsnet fantasy insider Andy McNamara and TSN Calgary reporter Salim Valji. That's all coming up today. Can you hit the quick six show horn, please, Director Jordan? You would think we would open with the NHL, and we're not. We're opening with the news that came across all of our phones yesterday via notification. Tom Brady is coming out of retirement, which lasted only 40 days. The superstar quarterback says he's returning to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for his 23rd season in the NFL. The 7-time Super Bowl champion announced his decision on Twitter and Instagram. The 44-year-old Brady says his place is still on the football field and has, quote, unfinished business. Lee, I said we could spend 2 hours on this.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I never thought he was going to leave. I think we talked that he was coming back, that he was going to land someplace. I thought, Tampa Bay's going to have the rights to him, so I didn't think he was leaving. I never thought for one moment that he wasn't going to play next year.
I don't know if you watched any of the coverage this morning, but Jeff Darlington of ESPN saying that he was around Brady when he made the announcement last year, and he seemed like a guy that was just worn out by the season. Made a hasty decision, right? That kind of sounds like what you're saying, right? He looked at a big picture, and he's not done yet.
Yeah, not done by a long shot, and he was at the top of his game. So, I mean, if I'm Todd Brady, I'm going to play till I'm 50. And, playing at that level, look at his QB rating. Why not? So,
yeah, well,
good on him.
There is the Seinfeld, leave him wanting more, go out on top. There is that, but that's just not Tom Brady, right?
No.
Yeah, so anyways, I want the viewers' opinion on Tom Brady's return. Did any of us really think that he was done? I didn't think that he was done, just like Lee. I'll slide into the chat in a moment. I see everybody's welcoming each other. Thank you from where you're watching from today. Toronto's checking in. Red Deer, Vancouver, obviously here in Calgary. Tacona Powley, by the way, in Winnipeg, writes in, he says, hey, worked security for Andrew Dice Clay and Brandon years ago. What a night. LOL. I've seen his show. It's amazing. And by the way, Tacona, his real name is Paul. He's the winner of our Bet Regal contest on the weekend, the text contest that we have every Friday where you pick your featured game of the weekend, select the winner. He correctly, Paul Tacona in Winnipeg, predicted that the Winnipeg Jets would beat the Blues on Sunday, and they did. In overtime, Tacona, we're going to be sending you out a Bet Regal prize package, and if you're lucky, you can only be so lucky as to get a bunny hug like this. We got hats, we got golf shirts, we got all kinds of stuff from Bet Regal. So way to go, Jets. Thanks for playing. Moving on to point 2, Toronto's Austin Matthews has a hearing with the NHL's Department of Player Safety today. He cross-checked defenseman Rasmus Dahlin in the third period of the Heritage Classic outdoor game Sunday between the Leafs and Sabres. He has no history of supplemental discipline. Buffalo won the game 5-2. Okay. Clark is on red alert, producer Clark, to tell us when this hearing's over, what comes down for Austin Matthews. I'm out. I'm tapping out. I have no idea when they come up with these decisions, Lee, how or what. You know what I mean? The poll question is today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, how many games should Austin Matthews get? And your options are none, I think 2 to 3, 4 or more, or other. And I would vote 4 or more. I saw it and I'm like, oh, in today's game, that's a 6-7 game suspension. But I see on YouTube, the leader they're saying 2 games. The majority saying 2 games for that. Bring Lee back in. A guy who, by the way, is the NLL Executive of the Year, former president of the Rush. They do that every shift.
Yeah,
In the NLL?
that's just a regular shift on an NLL game. So,
But this ain't the NLL. This is now the NHL. What do you think he should get?
well, because it's Austin Matthews, it's probably going to be 2 games instead of the 4 or 6 that it should be. They're going to probably come back and say he was protecting his goalie there. So, I'm going to go with the 2. And
Is that a
but
guess? You're
that's
saying
just a
he will
guess.
get 2 or he should get
no,
only
he
2?
should get 4 to 6, but he will get 2.
How about that?
Well, I think it's 4 plus he should get, and producer Clark, like I say, is on the ready. From the chat, hey, Rod and Lee, howdy from the wheat capital of Canada. It's going to be a great week on the RP show. I absolutely agree with you on that. Katie Fleury writing in, she says, I didn't see the hit, so I really can't answer it. Well, type in Matthews on Twitter search, hit search, it'll be the first thing that'll come up. It don't take long. He cross-checked him right in his mind, right in his ear. And that's why I sat and watched a playoff game yesterday, a junior hockey playoff game with an officiating supervisor, and there was a hit to the head in the game, and it was a little uncomfortable, Lee, because it was my buddy's kid that hit the guy in the head, okay? And listen, this is you want to inside? People like the inside stuff, as you say. I'm sitting beside the referee supervisor. Let's call him Todd. And all of a sudden, his phone goes off. Bing! I said, is that the hit? He's like, yep. I said, can you send that to me? Nope. I'm like, can I look at it over your shoulder? He's like, yeah. So he's looking at it. Unintentional. Hit to the head. Alberta Junior Hockey League. 5-minute major gone, which Camrose ended up going on to score on. But the point, he didn't mean to do it. But the kid was leaking immediately. Look at this. Deline jumped right up. You know, what goes into a suspension anymore, Lee? The fact that if a guy's hurt or not shouldn't go in, I don't think.
No, I don't think that should come into play. It was intentional. Hey, man, you have to control yourself out there. I mean, at the end of the day, you could break a guy's neck. So, could be.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, I welcome everybody. Tell your friends we're live on the air on Game Plus and YouTube live right now. Jeff, the Stamps fan, writes in and says, Tom Brady didn't want Aaron Rodgers stealing the offseason headlines. With Rodgers signing, Brady no longer had to carry on the retirement angle. Who knows? I don't believe that, but let's say this, because Lee works in the sizzle business. He's made a career of it. You know, last night when I laid my head down to sleep, I was reading, and it said Tom Brady stole the bracket Sunday for March Madness, and whatever other headlines there were, he came in and stole them. Tom Brady. Is that selfish of him?
No, not at all. Hey, man, it was probably the best news of the day. He did steal it, but was probably the best encore in sports, right? You know, you got ovation at concerts. This was a 40-day ovation coming back, and that was exactly what it was.
I hope he doesn't become like a Michael Jordan thing or something, though, where guys keep coming out of retirement to the point that it sullies their career. Would you not agree with that?
Oh, yeah. And I would agree. I just don't think he was going anywhere. I mean, you have to look at it when it came out. The NFL had put it out 2 or 3 days before he had actually even made any announcements on it. So, you know, the whole thing kind of went down in a very awkward fashion as it is. So,
yeah.
You know, it didn't come from Tom, didn't come from his camp. It came from the NFL.
Good point. Well, like they say, do not make life-altering decisions in a time of stress or when you don't have your wits about you. Tom was obviously in a position of stress when he made that decision. Initially, to retire, he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Came off a bad loss in the playoffs. You know what? That probably jaded him a little bit. So, you know, that probably went down the wire for him.
Lots of things to talk about today. I knew that there would be with Lee Genier and you, the viewers here. By the way, the text line is open, 902-518-3033. Pick up the phone and text RP. If you're not watching streaming right now and you're not writing it on YouTube, but you're watching on television, pick up the phone, text the host. I think a lot of people are still figuring out that you can actually do that, and I'll read them. Potentially on the air. Anyways, moving on from Sunday NHL leftovers. 18-year-old rookie Cole Sillinger recorded the first hat-trick of his NHL career. Elvis Merzlikins made 23 saves, and Columbus beat Vegas 6-4, I believe was the final. Sillinger, the league's youngest player who has 8 goals in his first 56 games, scored once in the first period and twice in the second. That kid came on this show in August, sat in the bunker, and said, I'm going to Columbus to make the team. And I'm like, come on, Cole. He spoke it into existence. He manifested it.
Manifest destiny. Love it.
You can do it. He's 18. Way to go, Cole. I just remember him, I hate the phrase knee-high to a grasshopper, but he literally was. Chewing bubble gum, hanging around with his dad, Mike. And guy sent me a video from Columbus of the celebration in the rink yesterday from Nationwide Arena. They said they love Cole in Columbus. I said they should. He was born there, which I learned that day. Then he was in the bunker in August. So way to go, Cole. Darcy Kemper stopped a career-best 46 shots for a 4th shutout of the season, and the Calgary Flames lost 3-0 in Colorado. Nathan MacKinnon scored on a power play in the first period, added another goal in the third. Please tell me how come we don't hear the McDavid versus MacKinnon argument anymore. We're hearing the McDavid versus Matthews argument, but we never hear McDavid versus MacKinnon. What's the deal on that? Because you looked pretty good in the game last night. I watched it. How are you on... Because you worked for the Stamps for so many years, the NLL. How are you on hockey?
You know what? I'm a Flames fan. I always have been, but I couldn't tell you everything that's going on. I've been a little bit busy, but...
Yes, you have been.
I can't tell you everything that's going on.
Well, you got your fingers on everything, but I guess as a born and raised Calgarian, and how about this? We went to Mount Royal at the same time together. I feel like we probably bumped into each other at a party from time to time together.
We might have dated some.
We might have dated the same girls. Didn't want to say it? I'll let you say it.
How about that?
How much steam do you think this 3-0 loss in Colorado has taken out of the Flames nation just because you're here, you feel it, you hear it, this wave that they're on, and then boop, you go in and face the best team in the league and you lose 3-0? It's got to be a reality check, I would think.
You know, I think it's actually the perfect time for them to take a 3-0 loss, especially to Colorado. So, I mean, you need a real gut check going into the playoffs, and I think this is the perfect time. It's going that you're not invincible and that you need to, you know, you might have some gaps you need to fill there. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, how about that? Well, that was like when I watched the Flames in Sunrise, Florida, first week of January, and they got thumped 6-2, embarrassed in Florida. They didn't do well the rest of that road trip, but then they went on this incredible run since. And maybe they needed to get thumped again, which 3-0 in Colorado is a thumping.
Absolutely.
You know,
Daryl would be on them, on the plane back.
He wouldn't be very happy. The Tampa Bay Lightning snapped a 3-game losing skid with a 2-1 victory over the Vancouver Canucks. Victor Hedman and Ross Colton scored for the Bolts. Vazzy, as they call him in Florida, was a force in net for the Lightning, making 35 saves. If there are any other games that you would like discussed, and I don't have the Jets game in here, I should, or the LA Kings beating the Florida Panthers 3-2 in LA in overtime, drop your comments in the chat or via text on the 902 line, and we will get to them. Just sorting out. Jason in Red Deer says MacKinnon is way better than Austin Matthews. Plays a complete game. See? No, I agree. Why don't we hear that? What we're hearing is that Austin Matthews is the greatest Leaf ever, and that is a joke. We're not hearing anything about Nathan MacKinnon. I think it might be because he's stuck in Colorado, which is not a great hockey market, sorry to say, let alone an NHL market for media and hype and that kind of thing. I see that we're up against it for our first break. And as usual, Lee Genier killing it with us as co-host today in the place of the Moose. As a matter of fact, I'm finding we're doing just fine without him.
Who?
See? How about that?
This Ken Dupes.
Yeah, when we come back, we will continue this. We got baseball to get to. Absolutely, we do. PGA, Raptors, BCLA. And on the way, Andy McNamara and Salim Valji. You're watching the RP Show on this Monday. It's Game Plus Television, live streaming on YouTube, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at BetRegal.net.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Cooper, the godfather of shock rock, is back with special guest Buck Cherry. Mosaic Place, Sunday, April 10th. Get tickets now at mosaicplace.ca and sasktix.ca.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Speaking of concerts coming your way, March 19th and 20th, Foreigner The Hits Tour right here at the Grey Eagle Event Center. You can get your tickets now at GreyEagleResortandCasino.ca or come on down. Get out of the house, come on down to the box office and purchase them in person. By the way, folks, March Madness is coming. Join the RP Show's March Madness bracket, and you could win some great prizes. Just visit our social media channels and sign up, or click the link in the live YouTube chat now. I will get producer Clark to put it in there in this segment. So moving on, this warm-up's a long one. We knew there would be a lot of things to talk about. Brad Gushue's Wild Card 1 team defeated Alberta's Kevin Cooey 9-8 to win the Tim Hortons Brier in Lethbridge. Gushue scored a single point in the extra end for the victory. It's the 4th time in the last 6 years that his St. John's-based team has won the National Men's Curling Championship. That would make him the, what? Patriots of curling? It's a little for me to say the same people all the time. I'm sorry. When Saskatchewan lost out, I lost interest. Don't at me. That was on Saturday, but...
The GOAT.
Gushue? He is!
With 3.
It's not his fault. No. Well, but then you got Cooey was going after his 5th Brier title. It was 2 GOATs. Clashing on a mountaintop.
Goat-rich environment.
Curling a goat-rich. Yeah, there you go. But hey, Sask, the drought has hit 43 years. I literally have people in Alberta saying, what's wrong? Why can't Saskatchewan win the Brier? I'm like, dude, you're asking the wrong guy. Don't ask me about curling. To baseball, I know the Blue Jays got a pitcher, but it pales in my mind to this. The Yankees have acquired former American League MVP Josh Donaldson in a trade with the Twins. New York also got shortstop Isaiah Kenner-Falefa. In exchange, Minnesota receives catcher Gary Sanchez and third baseman Gio Urshela. The trade remakes the left side of the Yankees infield. Great. Because I follow baseball almost to the degree of curling. I'm not watching it all year, but come playoff time, if our team's in it, I'm in it. I'm that guy. Come playoff time, I'm in it. And this doesn't help with the bringer of rain going to the Yankees. It kind of angered me a little bit. It was already a tough enough division, and then they got Josh Donaldson. You strike me as a baseball fan.
I'm a baseball fan for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How did you feel when you heard Josh Donaldson was going to New York?
Hey, good for him. I mean, he's going to the big. Hey, he's going to the big show. Right?
Yeah.
That's the way.
Yeah.
Right. That's where you want to end up.
But I'm not at a point yet where I'm looking at the Blue Jays schedule in the opening series. We can look at everything else that's going on. But they have a chance. We talked about it on Friday with Mark Steven. I'm not going to go down that road here today. Point 5. It should be a busy day on the golf course at Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. The third round of the Players' Championship ends today, and the fourth round is scheduled to begin and end today as well. 31 players are within 5 shots of the lead. That includes Canadians Taylor Pendrith and Corey Connors. They are tied at 4 under. The tournament was delayed because of rain and wind. So that's what's going on there. And my 6th... Morning, Dion. How are you, big time? My 6th and final point. It's pro basketball. I'm mashing 2 things into one. Right down your alley. It was expected the Toronto Raptors would struggle on their 6-game NBA road trip against some top opponents. Instead, they've made it look easy. The Raps have won 3 in a row and look to make it 4 straight when they take on LeBron and the Lakers in L.A. tonight. L.A. is coming off a lopsided loss to the league-leading Suns. Toronto's beaten the Spurs, Suns, and Nuggets on its current win streak. And dovetailing off that, Calgary's the place to be if you are a pro basketball fan tonight. And I think the best thing would be to hand it over to you. Basketball Champions League of Americas. First game goes tonight at Winsport Arena. Friday I went down. If you follow my social media, at Rod Pedersen Official, I was there for the news conference with the Edmonton Stingers. Rubbed elbows with the commissioner, Mike Morreale. I can't say the name of the team they're playing tonight in this Americas. Can you?
Puerto Rico.
Is that what it is?
Well, it's Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
We'll just go with Puerto Rico.
Congrejeros de Santerge.
Perfect.
That's what it sounds. That's what it looks like. They're playing at Winsport.
Muy bien, muy bien.
Mucho caliente. Tonight, Edmonton Stingers versus Puerto Rico. That's all you need to know. Canada versus Puerto Rico. We're going to be there. And here's the thing. For those in the Calgary market area, the CEBL has dropped this tournament here to test this market as a pro basketball market. They may put a team here if they can sell some tickets. So I'll just say, go to cebl.ca and buy yours now. They start at $35 each. And Edmonton's playing tonight. They're representing Canada, so I think you want to go. We're going to be there, Lee. Over to you. Why should people go?
I even wore my Stingers. I am a former Stingers president, so you know what? It's going to be some incredible basketball. So Stingers have brought in actually some players tonight. Jordan Baker's playing. Travis Daniels, Alex Campbell is joining the squad tonight, and those are all A-list guys. So you're going to see some incredible basketball tonight.
You know, it's amazing. I had a DM on Instagram from a guy by the name of Tim Wachowski, and he said, Rod, my son-in-law is Jordan Baker. And I'm like, wow, they're everywhere. There's places to go and see and watch high-quality basketball. Tell me about Jordan Baker that he's suiting up for the Edmonton Stingers. What should we know about him?
He's a force. I mean, he's their big, and he is a powerhouse out on the floor, right? So he's the big guy, and he'll probably put up 14 points, 16 points tonight. So he'll be a difference maker tonight for sure.
Well, it's here. It's March 14th. We said that we would be going to Winsport Arena tonight to watch the Edmonton Stingers take on the Americas, and tonight it's Puerto Rico, so we will see you there. Get your tickets. So that's taken us through all of the Quick Six show topics, and there are a few other things that I want to get to before Lee and I wrap about whatever we want to. One of those is Katie Fleury, and a few of the viewers have chimed in that the Regina Pats knocked off the Calgary Hitmen 4-1 Saturday. That's on the heels of a victory over the Lethbridge Hurricanes on Friday night. What can I say? Connor Bedard scored his 100th point in his 62nd game. I was watching. I was watching. What more is to be said about that guy? Go fill the barn. And as Lee pointed out, how did you know that Braden Yager with the Moose Jaw Warriors tied Theron Fleury's rookie record? How did you know that?
I just, this stuff comes to me in my sleep, so.
Visions.
I
didn't know that. And I'm a Theo fan and friend, so congratulations to Braden Yager. For the junior hockey people that are watching this morning, of which I know there are many, there's your news coming out of the weekend. And those are other things that came out of the weekend, but those are the highlights. And I guess we're still on guard, waiting to hear what Austin Matthews gets for discipline from the National Hockey League. I think Tom Brady, Austin Matthews are the top two news stories of the day. Tom Brady coming out of retirement, and Austin Matthews, we sit and wait to hear what he gets for a suspension for his cross-check to the head of Rasmus Dahlin the other night. Anyways, Jeff Kibilis is watching in Winnipeg, and he says, watch, Matthews gets a slap on the wrist, and that's it, because he's not a repeat offender. This is where I almost think, Lee, that I'm not suited to be sitting in this role as a sports talk host because I don't have time for the debate. Sometimes I really think, and in basketball and NLL, the leagues that you've worked in, you're in the CFL for the longest, you don't feel they just spin a wheel or throw a dart to decide? Don't you feel that way?
Yeah, I think that, you're going to have a commissioner that's under a lot of pressure from MLSE, let's put it that way. And is he going to get the just suspension? Probably not. Because he is Austin Matthews.
But is it like going to court? Your first time DUI isn't as serious as your second and third. There is such a thing as a first offense. I do get that.
Oh, for sure.
And does that weigh in here?
It might. It might for sure. He still tried to take the guy's head off. So, I mean, you got to remember, these guys, what if he was injured? How long is he out for? What if he broke the guy's neck? Right? It's a big maybe, but hey, man, guys, like I said, guys got to keep control out there.
Let's have some fun. Let's get it going in the chat section here. I'm going to speak with you, the viewers, as we roll. Free Oleg is watching in Winnipeg. And I'm going to tell you, Oleg, as long as you speak in the third person, I'm not going to read your comments because it's dumb and it's stupid. So speak in the first person and we'll get your comments on the air. I'm sorry. Mike Blackbird's watching in Toronto, and he says, I can't wait for the Shooting Stars to play. Finally, a Toronto team in the CEBL. That is the Scarborough franchise, which Drake owns, apparently, or he's one of the owners.
OVO owns. Friends of Drake.
Friends of Drake? What venue are they playing in?
You know what? Off the top of my head.
It's not Scotiabank Arena.
No, it's not Scotiabank Arena.
And Mike Blackbird goes on to say, the Leafs looked sharp in navy blue yesterday. I didn't watch but 1 second of the game, only because I was watching a junior game live. I went out to watch my buddy's kid play and also my cousin in Canmore, and I loved it. Hey, can I say this? Not that this would surprise you or any of the viewers. Every time I drive through that corridor from Calgary to Canmore, my jaw is on the dash of the car.
Love it. I'm out there every weekend.
Are you?
I drive, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well, so am I. Why didn't you call me? We could have gone together.
You should have called me.
Next time. But the thing is, obviously nothing against the homeland. Flat is flat, though, and those drives can take a real long time. Out here, I'm okay with a drive taking longer than normal because you just sit there. Do you ever get over it?
Never. In awe every time I go.
Yeah, and he's born and raised here. I had a buddy by the name of Ryan Phillips, junior hockey guy. I think he played a little pro in Europe. He biked across Canada. And he was looking at my Instagram story, and he said, Rod, that was the most beautiful part of this country. He goes, I couldn't believe how beautiful it was riding through there. So anyways, that was my point. I didn't watch any of the outdoor game, but that's not to say that it wasn't great. Jennifer's chimed in from the Four Seasons Sports Palace, one of our fine partners. She says, good morning, everyone. Watching on Game Plus today. Who forgot about time change? This gal. Well, Saskatchewan and Arizona, the two places that don't switch times, and I say that's because the world revolves around those two places. Let's be honest about it. So, yeah, we're on at 10 a.m. now in Sask, and I guess now 9 a.m. in Arizona, which, by the way, when Moose gets on the air, Lee, Have you talked to him since he's been in Arizona this weekend?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did he tell you that he was recognized in 2 places yesterday because of the show?
No, he didn't.
One was Camelback Golf Course by Sean Burke. Yes, the Sean Burke, the former New Jersey Devils goaltender and Hockey Canada goaltenders coach / that was one. He's a big fan of the show, Sean Burke. And the other was some guy in the mall at the Tanger Outlets in Glendale. Oh, you're DuPont.
Hey, man, well, you know what? All the snowbirds going down to Phoenix. Beautiful.
Yeah. Are you calling Sean Burke old?
No. Older.
You well, I would call him old. I tell you, coming around here for the Olympics, I came out here. It was my last trip with my parents as just us. You know what I mean? I have 2 older brothers, but that was the mom, dad, and me. And I was 15, and we went to the Olympics. And if you remember, Sean Burke was the goalie for Team Canada. So the fact that he would go on to become a friend and watch this show kind of blows my mind. But that's another thing. Every time I drive around the Saddle Dome, I just think that place, when it opened, was the Taj Mahal.
Absolutely.
Do you not feel in a way that it sort of is?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Exactly.
it's still, you know what? It's still a great venue. I know, obviously, the talk of the town is the new arena deal, but you know what? It's still a great spot to watch.
You dabble in the entertainment world, too. Do you buy this notion that, well, not buy it, it's true, that the top acts don't come here because of the roof?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an engineering thing that the roof can't hold and support the rigging. So it's a big part of why there is a new building coming to town.
Sure, but is the guy that designed that thing, how does he feel? Back in the early 1980s, he had this state-of-the-art, award-winning design that 30 years later, 40 years later, people would say, can't have this, it sucks.
Hey, at the time, it was a Saddle. It's Calgary.
Right?
Or a Pringles chip. I don't know, one of the two.
They should change it to the Pringle Dome, and maybe they could get the axe that they want. Jamie.
Rod?
Ooh, thank you. The Pringle Dome. Once you pop, you can't stop. Jamie, watching in Nova Scotia, writes in, says Matthews will get 1 game to help make a statement, as a fine is simply a slap on the wrist, and the NHL would look bad by protecting the best player in the league. The more I think about this is like it's not bigger than the Tom Brady news. Today it's bigger than the Tom Brady news. What he will get, the cross-check to the head, Austin Matthews. I'm saying 4+ games, that's what he should get. I don't care that he's a first-time offender, but that's because I don't really like Austin Matthews. He's annoying to me. The mustache is annoying to me. I get that he's a tremendous hockey player. But go play hockey then. Go score goals. I'm stunned that he would do what he did. Now, I didn't watch the game. That's the other thing, Lee. You're a sportsman. You've been around it your whole life. You see a 5-second clip of a guy losing his mind and cross-checking a guy in the mind, and you forget what had gone on all game long. The other 55 minutes. There's something to that, too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of emotion, and that 5 seconds doesn't be a prelude to or afterwards of what actually went on there. So, I mean, he was protecting his goalie. So,
holy smokes, time got away from us. I'm sorry. Lee, I'll see you back here in hour 2. Andy McNamara joins us next. Sportsnet Fantasy NFL Insider. We'll get deep into the Tom Brady talk because the viewers want to talk about that. And on the way, Salim Valji. You're watching the RP Show live on Game Plus Television, YouTube live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics, Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Casino fancy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
I thought you said you were getting him logged in. Gateway to the foothills is where we're at. It's the RP show, and yeah, we're in hour 1. I was told that they were getting Andy logged in, and then I was told that they're not. So I'm just trying to figure out what's happening. So we'll go back and forth with the viewers here. And my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat checks in. She says, Brady's coming back to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's got a year left in his contract. If Tom Brady's playing in 2022, which he says he will, it will be with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that was what we were hoping to chat with Andy McNamara about, and we will. Have you established contact with him? Okay. Greg S. writes in on YouTube and says, Rod, what's your take on Brady? Well, for one, if you go to rodpedersen.com right now, you can always get my thoughts on everything every day right there. It's the top item running. It's my commentary. First thing I thought was a smile and that Tom couldn't stay away. And I would assume that's what Andy McNamara thinks. Let's bring him in now, Sportsnet Fantasy Insider. Andy, what was, when you first got that notification, I assume it came across your phone just like me, what did you think?
Rod, I can't hear you. I can't hear anything through. I can't hear you right now.
What's the deal, guys? Hey, we're working on it. Tony Cernick, watching in the Energy City, writes in and says, best concert I've ever seen was in the Saddle Dome. Don't at me. It was Nickelback. funny how my mood can change just on a dime. It was awesome, and then, like, Nickelback, for instance. What is with the hatred of Nickelback? Moose and I have sat and talked about this. Voted the band of the 2000s, apparently. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a music guy, and I'm damn sure not a rock and roll guy. I just know they're good. The only problem with Nickelback is that they took down the sign at Hanna, Alberta that says home of Lanny McDonald and put up a sign that says home of Nickelback. That's just wrong. If you want to have one sign bigger than the other, that's fine, but to take down Lanny's, stop it. A tremendous band. I love their music. So back with Greg S. He says, Rod, what's your take on Brady? I think it's funny. It's what I love about the American media. There's a lot of things not to like, but what I do really like is I get a notification come on my phone this morning from USA Today. Winners and losers of Tom Brady's return. All broken down for you 6 ways from Sunday. And it's like, the losers is everybody else in the NFC South. That's the immediate losers. Who's the winners? Well, depends how you look at it. The rest of the NFL, Tom Brady in the NFL is good for the NFL. And let's be honest, when he announced his retirement 41 days ago, we were all disappointed, right? Do you think there were other quarterbacks going, oh yeah, now's my turn. Tom's gone. I don't think so. And the really cool thing is, my sports friends, the fire in the belly sports friends, like the Ben Heberts and guys like that, all love Tom Brady. Love his fire, love what he's overcome, love that he was cast aside by his old employer, the Patriots, only to emerge on top. Everybody loves Tom Brady that knows where it's at. And anybody that hates Tom Brady is just a hater. And Tom has proven everybody wrong. He's made a career of it. And to see him back is a wonderful thing. But rewind the show, Greg S., because Lee Genier and I talked about this off the top. And I said, I just hope for Tom's sake that he doesn't become that Michael Jordan or, see, I wish Lee was still on. Name me somebody else who just keeps retiring and keeps coming back. Tom's only done it once, but he can't do it again. Then he'll sully his legacy, in my opinion. Boxers do it all the time, but who, off the top of your head, can you think? Gordie Howe? Yeah, but Gordie came back and was Gordie. Right? He didn't come back as a shell of himself in the 50s in the WHA. It doesn't happen that often. Michael Jordan's the guy that I think of moving over to baseball, coming back to the NBA with Charlotte, the Wizards, and he just wasn't the same guy. I don't want to see that happen to Tom, and I don't think it will happen to Tom. Is Tom Brady the Michael Jordan of the NFL? Talent-wise? Maybe. So to make a long story short, yeah, I'm happy that he's coming back. I wish we didn't have to go through this charade the last 41 days. And as we often say, don't make a life-altering decision at a stressful time. Easy to say, hard to do, but here's Tom, Exhibit A of why you shouldn't do that. They tell me that we will have Andy McNamara ready when we come back. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube live streaming, and of course, if you missed any portion of the show, you could always catch the podcast on Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Gotta shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Gray Eagle Resort and Casino.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Monday morning coming down. And hearty good afternoon to our friends watching in the Eastern Time Zone. We are at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. One more week in this wonderful facility. And we'll be back in April. By the way, tickets on sale now, but not that many left for the March 19th and 20 shows for Foreigner, the Hits Tour. You can purchase yours at GreyEagleResortandCasino.ca or come on down to the box office and make that purchase in person, and we'll see you here. There were, of this few thousand-seat facility on Friday night, only, they estimated 6 seats left open for the Bianca Del Rio show. People want to get out. They want to be around others. It was a great time. I'm told that we're moving on from Andy McNamara because of a tech issue. It is what it is. I appreciate Andy's willingness to come on. It's too bad that we couldn't make connection today. We're still waiting this morning. Toronto Maple Leaf star Austin Matthews has a phone hearing with the NHL's Department of Player Safety today. Matthews cross-checked Sabres defenseman Rasmus Dahlin in the head yesterday during Toronto's 5-2 loss in the Heritage Classic at Hamilton's Tim Hortons Field. It's the first time in his career that Matthews has faced a disciplinary hearing, and we're still sitting and waiting. I assume, what happens first? Clark either texts me or it says in my ear, or I get a notification here that Austin Matthews has been suspended for what? The Capital Automall Universal Collision Center poll question is, how many games? How did I word that, Clark? Will or should he get? I think I said, how many? Let me check this. How many game suspension should Austin Matthews receive? on both Twitter and YouTube. 2 games is leading with 54%. That's what our co-host Lee Genier said. I'm saying 4 or more, but you know what? What the hell do I know? And by the way, I'm good for this segment, Lee. He jumped in, but we got to do a tech thing to get you in. So I'll handle it the rest of the way, and we'll bring Lee back here. By the way, this is the 715th show of the RP show. And I said to Lee, this is only about the 3rd time that I lost track of time and went 2 minutes into a break. That's how much fun we were having earlier when he was on, and we'll do it again next hour. The Ottawa Senators entertain the Arizona Coyotes in the lone NHL game tonight. The Sens, 7th place in the Atlantic Division, are coming off a 6-3 loss to the Chicago Blackhawks on Saturday. And was that one ever wild? What's up with the Connor Murphy hit? Well, he being the receiver of it on Saturday. Is there any supplementary discipline coming down there? The Devils, who sit 7th in the Metropolitan Division, scored a 2-1 shootout win over Anaheim on Saturday. Why is that in the sports summary? Gonzaga, Arizona, Kansas, and Baylor have drawn the top seeds for March Madness. The Zags top the West bracket and enter the tournament as the number 1 seed for the 5th time. The Wildcats are the top seed in the South region, the 7th time at number 1, and the 1st since 2014. Kansas is number 1 in the Midwest. The Jayhawks, 15th time atop a regional. Defending national champion Baylor is a number 1 seed for 2nd straight NCAA tournament, although the Bears come off a loss in the Big 12 semifinals. Tampa Bay Buccaneers' search for a quarterback is over. Tom Brady has announced that he'll be back for a 23rd NFL season. 7-time Super Bowl champion announced it on Twitter and Instagram. I like that, by the way. I don't know why all athletes don't use their own social media to make their own announcements. Pitcher Yusei Kikuchi, easy for me to say, is expected to join the Toronto Blue Jays in Dunedin, Florida, as training camp officially gets underway today. The Jays reportedly signed the free agent lefty to a 3-year contract worth $36 million on Sunday. Woo! At almost $13 million a year, I should learn to say his name. Yusei Kikuchi. Got it.
Bingo!
This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games for the Tap Brew House and drive-through liquor store. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Putting a bow on what's been an eclectic hour one. Paul in Winnipeg, that's the real name of Tacona Pally, has won the Bet Regal contest. He correctly predicted his Winnipeg Jets would beat the Blues. We'll be sending him out a Bet Regal prize pack. Bob Smith's watching on Game Plus TV in Maple Ridge, British Columbia, and he says, Roddy was an intentional hit. I agree with you. That's the thing. So I don't care what his intent was. I don't care what his prior history was. The guy should get 4 or more. He meant to cross-check him right in the mind. So we'll see. More with Lee coming up in hour 2. Stick around here on Game Plus.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Alice Cooper, the godfather of shock rock, is back with special guest Buck Cherry. Mosaic Place, Sunday, April 10th. Get tickets now at mosaicplace.ca and sasktix.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Right now.
I'm wearing headphones, rocking it back, old school radio days.
How about that?
And somebody said it looks like I'm plugged into a Walkman. And I remember when I got my first Walkman, because my brothers and I had to share it. And I was the youngest, so how often do you think I got it? And you had your case of cassettes, and then people started to crap on your music selection. And I'm like, then bring yours then! How many times did we have that conversation at parties?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Okay, here we are. Welcome, everybody, to Hour 2. Welcome to all of Canada and Canadian sports fans in the United States. I think that's a good way to go. We're on Game Plus Television, coast to coast in the Great White North and on 31 states in the USA. Let's just do a reset, because as I've learned, there's a lot of people that are just finding this show, okay, and they're just realizing what we're all about. What we are is the view for sports fans. And 700 some years, 700 some shows ago, sometimes it feels like 700 years ago when we started this, I said, we're the view for guys. That was soundly trounced, deemed to be not inclusive, and I thought, you know what? I can go along with that. So we're the view for sports fans, okay? So let's bring in Lee Genier now. Sports executive, entrepreneur, former NLL Executive of the Year, VP of Sales and Marketing for the Calgary Stampeders for a couple of decades. Welcome back, Lee.
Glad to be back.
The view for sports fans, how's that sound? Like, that's kind of what we're doing here.
I'm not a big fan of The View, but...
No, I didn't say I would.
But I would go with the premier sports and entertainment show in North America.
Well, that too.
Right on.
I see Whoopi got herself... I saw Whoopi got herself in some trouble here not that long ago. So here's the thing. We're into it. We're into Hour 2, which is brought to you by Great Western Original 16 beer. The greatest beer in the game. I love that tagline. You're big on taglines, right? So Jeff Caldwell's watching on Game Plus TV. He's watching in Redmond, Oregon. And he says that Blue Jays pitcher that they signed, you say it, Kikuchi. And I guess I should know who he is. Like, I didn't necessarily know who Jose Barrera was until the Blue Jays got him. And then, we all were forced to. If you weren't a diehard, you had to learn his name. And we did because he was awesome for the Blue Jays last year. Barrera. But what we do here is we sit around and we talk sports. And I've never, ever, ever, ever professed to be an expert really at anything. Just know a little bit about everything, but not a lot about anything. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we went through all these topics, and as we sit here today, here are the two things that we're talking about. Tom Brady's return to the National Football League. He announced that he's coming out of retirement on Sunday after a 40-day retirement. And then the other one is, Clark, what's taking him so long in Toronto? What's taking him so long? Austin Matthews is having what we believe is a phone hearing with the NHL head office about his cross-check to the head of the Sabres defenseman in the Winter Classic, the Heritage Classic in Hamilton yesterday. And Lee says he should or will get 2 games. He said he will get 2, but he should get 4 or more, right? I'm saying he should get 4 or more. He should, and maybe will. So those are some of the things that we're talking about here today. But it's interesting because of everything that's going on. Like, what was your sports focus on the weekend?
You know what? I watched about 40 hours of F1.
The series?
The series on Netflix.
How about that?
Fantastic, by the way.
Well,
I should have been a F1 driver.
Why?
Oh, man, that circuit, if you watch it, just incredible. Obviously, it's a very candid look at behind the F1 circuit, which is the creme de la creme. I spent a lot of time in the Olympic world, traveling around the world, racing bobsleds. And so, I could kind of relate, but it is just fantastic.
Well, see how I said this is the view? This is just us talking. And the next layer of this is us bringing in you, the viewer. So you can text us at 902-518-3033 right here on the stage bar at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. The number's on the screen. Or for those that are watching live streaming on YouTube, you can comment in the chat as well. So that's what it is, just a daily sports talk discussion. Randy from the Peg is watching and says, I don't think Matthews will get more than 1 game because of who he is. I think he deserves at least 3. And rewind the tape. I get it. I was sitting with the director of officiating yesterday watching a playoff junior hockey game here. And, boom, there was a hit to the head in that game. And within seconds, he had it emailed to him by the league. And I'm just, wow, this is cool, the way that they do it. But I can't, there's a lot of factors that go into something like the Austin Matthews potential suspension. He might not get anything, by the way. He might not get anything. Is there any chance of that?
Possibly a fine.
Very, very possible he doesn't get anything.
$25 fine.
20 years ago, what Austin Matthews did, we're calling that Monday night. And by the way, I don't want a ref, which reminds me of something. I meant to say this on Friday. If you really want to get into it, I'm a certified hockey official. Yes, it's 35 years old. Still counts, doesn't it? I think it does.
It does.
So the other night, Flames game, and the fans that were watching and the Flames people that are watching in their dressing room will remember this. The linesman took a puck in the face. Actually, it was this side. Went down. It was terrible. He never came back. Players don't care about the officials, just so you know. He doesn't come back. Linesman. So I'm watching the game. It becomes 2 referees and 1 linesman. The one poor linesman that was left was hustling his ass off up and down the ice, linesing both lines, doing both icings, and the referees were still reffing the game. Now, in my mind, all of a sudden, guys, we become a 3-man crew with 1 ref and 2 linesmen. And I thought they botched it, but I'm sitting there talking to this officiating supervisor yesterday. He goes, nope, that's NHL protocol. Keep your role. I'm like, what? And make this guy work twice as hard? I said they're very lucky that there wasn't an offside or a disputed icing that cost a goal or the game.
That's old school. Goes back to the old days.
Well, that's what I thought, which, thanks for the reminder, Lee. The guy that I was sitting with yesterday said that hit to the head that we saw in Canmore yesterday, not a penalty, not even a penalty 20 years ago, and it's changed, and I just don't really understand how or why it's changed. Player safety, I guess. That would be what it would be?
Absolutely, yeah.
Keep your head up, and you'll be fine. By the way, Tough Tribe for Men, guys, was designed to meet the unique demands of clean, professional grooming. The warm scent of a gentleman's shampoo teams up with an invigorating, cool peppermint conditioner. Top that off with a little beard and hair pomade to start your day feeling fresh and confident. Available today at toughtribeformen.com. That's the number 4. toughtribeformen.com and Amazon Canada. If you like our flow, don't credit us. Credit toughtribeformen.com. I take that stuff everywhere. Flipping gears. Enough about Austin Matthews because I don't really like him. The other topic of the day is Tom Brady coming back to the National Football League, and I was remiss, Lee, in hour one of not asking you this. What's the impact on the NFL that Tom Brady is coming back for a 23rd season?
Well, if you look at the way it blew up yesterday, I mean, it blew up the internet yesterday. So I think everybody wants to see a great story. I don't think anybody wanted to see Tom leave the game, which, I think there was a lot of skepticism about him. So him coming back, I think, is fantastic. It's kind of like Tiger Woods coming back from all of his adversity. So people want to see him play till he's 50.
Yeah.
I really think so. Yeah. I think, he's got 2-3 good years left in him. So I really do. And I mean, why wouldn't you? You're playing a sport you love. I know he's talking about his family. And I think, 2-3 years in him.
Well, I talked about Whoopi getting in trouble for something that she said. I think it had to do with the Russian invasion of the Ukraine, which, incidentally, we will stay out of political talk here. You're good with that, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're more than good with that. You got to be careful with what you say. Ha! BW writes in on the YouTube. It says, you're bringing down the value of the RP show when you refer to the narrow-minded view. Well, Lee might agree. He said the premier sports and entertainment talk show in North America, and that's also true. But the View's been on the air for a long time, and we all know about it. So if we're the sports version of the View, I'm okay with that. That's what I thought 715 shows ago this country needed. That's what we have, and we're growing gangbusters. And this gentleman to my left, your right, has been like lighter fluid on that. But back to the talk about what's Tom's life been like for the last 40 days. I saw somewhere, Sports Center or Sportsnet Connected, they said, well, maybe Janelle was tired of Tom being around the house, kicking him out of the house. And I'm thinking, can we say that now? Are we saying they have marital problems? Is that what we're saying? You never know. You can't say anything anymore. Now, you saw the photo, I would assume, the week after Tom, they lost out. It was the weekend between the conference championships and the Super Bowl, I think. Tom was carrying his kid's hockey bag into the rink. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And people, of course, none of us think that that's right. You should make your kid carry his own hockey equipment. And people are like, well, Tom's never done it before. At least let him do it for one weekend. I guess Tom's that parent. I saw a family walking into the rink in Okotoks, by the way. The mama was carrying the bag, toting the bag, the hockey bag. 2 young boys and the dad. Mom carrying the bag. And I'm like, shut up, Rod. That voice in the back of my head.
Make the kids carry the bag.
1:11 Eastern. Thank you, Carlos Legena. 11:11 Mountain. I appreciate it.
Make a wish.
Mine's come true, brother. Jennifer from the Four Seasons watching. She says, I was happy Brady was gone. There were those that would be happy that Tom was gone. There's no doubt, including every other team in the NFC South. Panthers, Saints, and Falcons. Now he's back. Do you not think that they're sitting there going, Matt Rule? You know they are.
Absolutely. So yesterday, the Bucs went from being a 25-1 to win the Super Bowl. Brady comes back as an 8-5-1.
Of course.
Just changes that much.
Does anybody want to enlighten us as to who the backup quarterback for the Buccaneers would be? Like, Bruce Arians probably the happiest guy on the planet today. I should know, but I don't. Ryan McCarthy's watching in Saratoga, New York, says, happy NFL free agent legal tampering day. Yeah, right. That really rolls off the tongue, too. The Moose texted me from Arizona. He's like, hey, it's free agent legal tampering day. The window opens at 10 a.m. Mountain. I said, yeah, NFL Network can have that one. We are not the NFL Network. We're the View for sports fans. Well, Dylan McDonald on YouTube says, definitely have to watch what you say when we have King Trudeau as the leader. If you're against him and say anything bad about him, you're a fringe minority and a whole slew of things he likes to say. That's as far down the political road as I'm going to walk. And just so you know, although I don't like Trudeau at all, he's not the only guy you got to worry about. The cancel culture mob is. Which reminds me, the other night, Bianca Del Rio. Where did you see her perform? Do you remember?
Just on some team.
Oh, wasn't in live?
That wasn't live.
Here at Grey Eagle Event Center. Listen, I'd seen her before, so I knew what I was getting into. Most had no idea what they were getting into. It was the raunchiest. Bianca Del Rio makes Andrew Dice Clay look like Mr. Dress-Up. I'm not, by the way, had no problem with it. I'm here for it. But I'm thinking, how does she get away with this? And then I realized, wait a minute. Works for herself, self-employed, can say whatever she ruby red wants. And does. And sold out the place. And then sold out Edmonton. Then sold out Saskatoon. You go, Bianca. What?
You got it. Works for herself.
That's it. Don't got to answer to anybody. It's the greatest thing in the world. Is it Blaine Gabbert? I think it is. Yeah, everybody says Blaine Gabbert. No wonder Bruce Arians is the happiest man on the planet today.
He had a good sleep last night.
Right. John Kirby watching in Edmonton says, Rod, your show needs to be on Sirius XM. Oh, I agree. However, let me tell you something. What I do is this. Lee, Moose, and a bunch of other people take care of stuff like that. But I can tell you, a year and a half ago, Lee's probably not aware of this, we were in talks with Sirius XM, but as you can imagine, they wanted everything on their terms. And we just said, we don't need this, so maybe we'll talk down the road. And maybe we're far enough down the road. I don't know.
We're going to the moon, baby.
We're going to the moon. Absolutely. We're going to take a brief pause and continue with more of this when we come back and involve the viewers. And also on the way, Salim Valji. They used to call them TSN bureau chief. And I don't think they even call them that anymore. I'll look up his Instagram and see what he calls himself. TSN Calgary reporter, Salim Valji. I know he does a great job, but he's a guy that those people you just run into all the time.
Yeah.
That's me and Salim at the Saddle Dome. It's amazing. He's coming up later on this hour. We'll talk about that Flames loss in Colorado on Sunday. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube Live, and of course, if you've missed any part of the show, catch the podcast on Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Monday morning coming down. By the way, don't forget that March 19th, 20th weekend, Foreigner, The Hits Tour, touches down at Grey Eagle Event Center. Foreigner, The Hits, sing along with one of the world's iconic rock bands. You can get your tickets at GreyEagleResortandCasino.ca or right here at the box office. March 18th is Air Supply. I believe that's sold out. We're not promoting that. We don't need to. Oh, and by the way, speaking of tickets, the CEBL champions are taking on the Americas live in Calgary, and it begins tonight. The Basketball Champions League Americas, known as the BCLA, is the best continental league in the Americas. You can actually look it up on Instagram. I did. They got like 70,000 followers.
Oh, yeah.
Big deal.
Big deal.
It's created through an innovative partnership between FIBA, national federations, and pro basketball leagues across the continent. And tonight, the CEBL champion Edmonton Stingers will represent Canada up against Puerto Rico. You can get your tickets at the CEBL.ca website right now. Email them to you, and we'll be there tonight at WinSport Arena, which, as I slide into the chat here, John in Edmonton says, are you guys going to the Stingers game tonight? The answer is yes. On this opening day of the NFL legal tampering window, Mitchell Trubisky reportedly will be signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So away we go. Maybe we'll get into more of this later tomorrow. I don't necessarily love live flying analysis. We are not the NFL Network. But I did see, again, I love USA Today. What's your favorite newspaper? What's your favorite periodical?
The New Yorker.
Yeah? You read it all the time?
Yeah.
Mine's USA Today because it's got everything. And notification came down, Mitchell Trubisky going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But they had a list of the top free agents available in the NFL. I'm like, And Mitchell Trubisky topped it.
It's a big deal.
He was benched in Chicago last year. He's the best. Wake me up when it's over. Anyways, a couple things I want to get here. Wayne in Victoria, BC says, I would love it, Rod, if the RP show was on Sirius XM. Then it would be easier to listen to on the road. No. You have to press just as many buttons to get us now as you would Sirius XM. Not that hard. Listen live. I say it every day at rodpedersen.com. Spotify. Like 700 episodes of just telling people one by one. This is how nothing wrong, Wayne. It's on us. We got to let people know that we're very easy to find that way. Okay. And just one more. Arlen Bruce III, who we all know is a Canadian Football Hall of Famer. 3-time Grey Cup champion, writes, and he says, do you believe the Edmonton Elks are going all the way this upcoming season? If not, what other team is making moves before the 2022 season? Less than 77 days away. Hold the thought, Arlen. No, I don't believe they're going all the way. I got them picked 4th, as did Mark Steven. If you want to talk ball, come here on Fridays for Football Fridays, because we went deep on this on Friday. That's not to say we won't come around on the CFL in this segment, but Lee wanted to mention the NLL. The Rush lost a tight one. They blew a big lead in San Diego Friday night. Here Thursday night. Are you coming to the Saddle Dome with us? The Pringle Dome?
Yes.
Saskatchewan Rush versus Calgary Roughnecks. St. Patrick's Day party. And if you're still standing, they play again on Saturday night, the Roughnecks. But these are turbulent times in the National Lacrosse League.
They are. You know, you've had the departure of Nick Sakevich,
the commissioner.
Jessica Berman, who was the deputy commissioner. So you've got a ship without any captains.
Or rudder. Well, Lee's being somewhat humble. He's the former NLL Executive of the Year. I'm sure your phone's been going off with people asking if you would be interested in becoming the next commissioner of the NLL.
I have, actually. So.
And?
How about that?
Anything's possible.
You're open for business.
Anything's possible.
Would you have to move?
You know, probably negotiable. Nick was living in Philly. I don't know. I don't see myself moving to Philly.
Well, and by the way, Nick Sakevich will be on the show tomorrow. Cool dude. Stud, right?
Hey, man.
Dog.
Great guy.
Dog.
Great.
Nick Sakevich will be on the show tomorrow. He is now the Director of Business Operations of the Arizona Coyotes.
Chief Business Officer.
Is that what it is? Big cheese with the Arizona Coyotes. And if I may, he'll have a lot to do with where the Coyotes play?
My understanding is he is there to find an arena solution for them.
Good luck on that one. He's a good thing he's a smart guy and very well connected, because a lot of people have been trying to do that for a very long time. 20 plus years.
You need to get into an 18,000 plus building back there. You can't.
Yeah, well, and by the way, this is where I think you'll really find this interesting. And again, Lee, stop me if I overstep my bounds, but you said that being a commissioner is a very tight spot. Like, everybody wants to be the commissioner. I think they see the paycheck. I think they see them sitting with the owners in the suites, eating shrimp cocktail and flying everywhere in a private jet. That's the good stuff. What's the stuff they don't see?
Man, you take a beating every day from however many owners, right? So it is probably arguably the worst job, because everybody looks for you to all the answers, why a league doesn't work, why this didn't work, and you're the fall guy. And you have limited mobility in those roles, to be quite honest.
Why do you think the CFL's been through 6 commissioners since 1998 for exactly what he's talking about? Hang on, Clark, I didn't hear you full. What was it he got? Two-game suspension for Austin Matthews for his cross-check to the head of the Sabres defenseman Deline Sunday. Well, I thought it should be more. I guess for the next 24 hours in Canada, we'll be debating this. Why? And we'll enjoy our good friends, the insiders on SportsCenter, saying, well, he was a first-time offender. Well, this no history of supplemental discipline. I guess all of that goes into it. I guess you can go cross-check somebody in the side of the head if you've never done it before, for the most part.
Sounds like it.
That's, yeah. But how do you, go ahead.
First-time offender.
Do you go along with that?
No, not at all.
It's not the court of law. It's the National Hockey League, okay? It's different. In my role as a recovery coach and all the rest, I got a lot more time for a first-time offender than I do for Austin Matthews. But again, I don't care for Austin Matthews, so I'm probably a little biased. And bias does enter into this. Don't tell me it doesn't.
Sure it does.
Sure it does when you're handing out supplementary discipline. Thank you, Jason and Red Deer, by the way, who quotes Frank Saravelli, the baby-faced assassin, for having the scoop that Austin Matthews got 2 games. Another one. Where is it? John in Winnipeg says the Jets will beat Vegas Tuesday. Well, they probably will, the way the Vegas Golden Knights are going, but they lost 6-4 to Columbus yesterday. Our good friend Cole Sillinger got a hat trick, his first career hat trick in the NHL. He's the youngest player in the league. The Golden Knights are sliding, baby. They might slide right out of the playoffs. And I don't know if you saw the comment from Chandler Stevenson, one of their star forwards, former Regina Pat, says we need to grab our nuts here. And I laugh because somebody put on Twitter, oh, it's nice to hear that, rather than the usual hockey jargon. I'm like, dude, that is hockey jargon. You just don't hear it.
Can you say nuts on the air?
We just did. We got to grab our nuts. Chandler Stevenson said it yesterday. I'll never forget when I was working in the Junior A, broadcasting the provincial finals on television a couple years ago. Spittin' Chicklets was just getting going, and all the kids were like, "You gotta listen to Spittin' Chicklets. You gotta listen to." I got a lot of hours on the road here. I'll listen to it, and I know Paul Bissonnette, love him, but I'm like, this is no different than throwing a tape recorder in the middle of your dressing room. What is this? It's hockey talk, but I guess not everybody gets the hockey talk. To say we got to grab our nuts probably gets said every day in a hockey dressing room. And by the way, the Vegas Golden Knights, the Golden Nuts.
Oh, no.
Can somebody do a meme? The Vegas Golden Nuts. Nelson Hackowicz writes in, he's a Golden Nuts fan from way back. He says the NHL needs to take out the previous offender criteria. Player safety is the utmost important regardless of star power or body count. And again, that's why I don't have time for the argument about all the supplementary discipline. That's not to say that it isn't a worthwhile discussion. I just don't care for it. Back to the CFL for a second. And I should mention Salim Valji coming in next. TSN Calgary. What are your thoughts on the CFL right now?
Well, you know what? It's the middle of March. And I've seen some great stuff coming out of Edmonton. I'm talking from the business side. I think Victor Cui's doing a great job up there. I haven't seen a lot of anything else coming out of any other team. I think the Ticats actually do a great job. Heritage Classic there yesterday. But I haven't seen anything else.
Not a lot.
Middle of March.
It's, I had mentioned in my weekend column that I'd gotten some heat from Toronto for our discussion about CFL apathy in Toronto on the weekend, or on Friday's show and Thursday's show. And I get it. And we've heard it for a while now that the CFL office and the Argos themselves have been working their asses off to make the team relevant, make the league relevant in that market. I get all that. And I guess we'll find out if there's some fruits of their labor come this upcoming season in terms of bums in the seats. But I'll tell you this. I saw my cousin, Christine, in Medicine Hat write in and say, I was thinking of you, Rod, Friday night when the Raptors were playing a great game. What was I doing Friday? I was at the Bianca Del Rio show. And before I went down to that, because there's more to life than sports, newsflash, I was watching on Instagram an Instagram live show featuring Willie Jefferson and Derek Dennis. And I'm going to tell you, it was amazing. You got two verbose, loquacious linemen of the NFL. Willie, we all know. DN from the Blue Bombers. Derek Dennis, we all know. Left tackle of the Calgary Stampeders. They were sitting there, Lee, and rating the most overrated players at the position in the CFL. People were loving it.
Love it. I love it.
Like, why can we not have that? TSN, pick this up. But I also get it. I complain, why are we getting college basketball highlights on TSN when we got NLL and junior, which now they are showing those highlights, but people say, well, Rod, TSN's carrying March Madness, so of course they're going to show the highlights. It's like us. Why do we talk CEBL so much and preview tonight's game? Well, they're sponsors of ours. But at least it's a Canadian league.
It is.
You know?
Canadian league with some great American players.
Mike Blackbird in Toronto, in all caps, writes, CFL, crickets. Jason in Red Deer says, we barely hear anything from the CFL when there should be news, let alone during the middle of the offseason. LOL. But that's their deal. I'll just say this. I met with a guy here in the casino last week who used to be in sports now, or used to be in sports media, and now he's working for a league. And he goes, I like just working with one league rather than having to deal with all of them. And I said, actually, I'm exactly the opposite. I loved leaving the Rough Riders in the CFL and being able to work with the NLL and the NHL and the NFL and Junior A. And you know what I mean? But the different strokes for different folks.
Hey, man, we got it all.
We got it all. I love the variety. It's a lot to stay on top of. But as a team here, you informing me that Braden Yager tied Theron Fleury's franchise record for goals by a rookie, like I would have lost a bet that Lee Genier would be the guy that would inform me of that.
I probably would have lost that bet too. So.
But we're a team.
Oh.
Anyway, speaking of, Salim Valji will join us next from TSN Calgary. You're watching the RP Show live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination, on Game Plus Television, YouTube, live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day. Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Beautiful Monday morning here in the gateway to the foothills, Great Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. We keep talking about the Foreigner Show, the Air Supply Show. Tickets are available. But if you want to look at the full spring and summer lineup, including Jeff Foxworthy, the father of redneck comedy, he's coming May 28th. Check out the website, greateagleresortandcasino.ca. Click on Event Center and upcoming shows. This is the place to be. There is breaking news on this Monday from the National Hockey League Player Safety announcing that Leafs forward Austin Matthews has been suspended 2 games for cross-checking Buffalo Sabres defenseman Rasmus Dahlin during Sunday's Heritage Classic. And maybe that isn't the worst place to start with TSN Calgary's Salim Valji, who joins us from, I think it's the Saddle. It's his home, it would appear, today. Salim, how you doing, man? Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday, Rod. The team was off today, so a rare day Monday at home for anyone that covers the team. And yeah, I'm glad to be on with you.
Yeah, well, finally, this will be the longest conversation we've ever had, except for the obligatory nod in the press box and on the Saddle Dome concourse there. Can I start with the Matthews suspension? 2 games. I was purporting 5 or more. How do you feel about the 2 games and what went into it?
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those rare games I got to watch with my family, so it was a bit of a different lens. I think it was justified. I kind of figured it would be a couple of, if I'm correct, I don't think Matthews has been suspended before, has he, Rod? I think is he a first-time offender? He might have been fined, but I don't think he's ever been suspended. But
he's
anyway,
a first-time offender, which clearly went into this. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely looks like a scrum in front of the net there, and he was targeting who's Rasmus Dahlin's upper neck, lower head area. I mean, it's good. I think it's warranted, and I understand the Toronto element that comes into this, and the fans that figured that he would get a free pass. I don't think player safety has had a bad past few months with the National Hockey League. It's sort of, if you're not talking about that department, then generally it's a good thing. And I think they got it right over here. It was clear it was a target to Dahlin's head. And the fact that he is a Maple Leaf and that element seems to have, rightfully been discarded. He was treated as any other player. This wasn't a Toronto bias type of thing. And I think 2 games is probably the right call. I'm just fascinated with how that team and where they're at going forward, how that will unfold over the coming 8 days and coming couple of months.
Now to the Flames. I want to talk about the Flames, the team which you cover, but also want to talk about you. But first, the shutout win over Detroit on Saturday, where they completely toyed with the Wings, outshot them at 1.19-1, then 30-3, and then turn around and go to Colorado and be shut out 3-0. How big of a step back do you think that was for the Flames on Sunday, if at all?
I don't think so, Rod. I think they've had a phenomenal season from the get-go. And, playing 5 games in 7 days has got to be so taxing for them And I think they're 4-2 in their past 6. These were pretty high quality opponents. Tampa Bay, Colorado twice. I think they're in a really good spot. I don't look at the Colorado game as anything more than fatigue, and the schedule stress is catching up to them. And if you remember that game last night, they did make a really good push in the third period there. So I think overall they're in a really, really enviable spot. Vegas looks like they're struggling a bit here, and Calgary's in the driver's seat with first place in the division. I think they have a lot to be happy about, winning 4 of the past 6 in such a condensed schedule, including a real statement win on Thursday over the defending champions, where Calgary did toy with the Lightning at various points during that game, and they frustrated them, it seemed. So I wouldn't look at the Colorado game as anything more than scheduling catching up to them, and it just not, being the juice might have been there. And, they've got a couple of days to recover over here, and a couple of teams in New Jersey and Buffalo coming up at home this week. But I don't think they're in a bad spot at all. I just think Colorado game came at a bad time for them, and it's nothing to be concerned about at all if you're a fan.
Well, that's very good analysis, and you're right. It has been a lot of hockey lately, and I just know this. The fans, the media have loved it. We don't like off nights, so that's been great, but you're right. They got a few days off now till the Devils come in here on Wednesday, and fatigue is a good factor. You're right. It was quite a quick turnaround from Saturday to getting on a plane and flying to Denver to play. Now to you, Salim, if you don't mind. Your Instagram says Edmonton-born, TSN Calgary, but I'd heard that you'd come via Montreal. What is your story getting to Calgary to cover the Flames for TSN and Calgary sports?
Yeah, definitely a different route. I think a lot of the times people in this industry start in small towns and sort of grow. In my case, it was a provincial government exchange in 2013. I was born in Edmonton, and I was studying at that time to become a high school social studies teacher, which sounds pretty bizarre in hindsight to say 10 years later. But there was an interprovincial exchange between Alberta and Quebec at that time in 2013, where 40 Quebec students would come to Alberta to learn English and work in jobs relating to their field, and 40 Alberta students would go to Quebec to learn French. I applied for that program and thankfully got in, and I was placed in Montreal, and I loved the city and everything. And then at that point, I didn't have my degree, and I signed up to teach, to be an assistant English teacher in France. So after Montreal, I lived a few months in the Parisian suburbs and really enjoyed it. But at that point, I knew I wanted to pursue journalism. I know since I was like 8 years old, but when you tell your parents that, it's not necessarily the type of reaction that sort of go all in. My family, like a lot of others, wanted stability, and coming from 2 very undemocratic countries and immigrating to Canada, I don't think their son wanting to be a sports journalist was in their cards. So they told me to pursue something more stable, and teaching was always something I had my eye on. But at a certain point, you just have to go for what you want. And I got into Concordia's journalism program in 2014, graduated in 2017, worked a couple of years in media in Montreal, including initially as a statistician for the Habs broadcast on TSN. So that was a lot of fun, and that was my entry point into the network. And then when Germain got promoted, TSN reached out and said that they wanted me to interview for this job. That was in July 2020, and then it took a few months for that process to go along, and now it's been close to a year and a half now. It's flown by in Calgary. It's been a lot of fun. TV is really, really different to newspapers that I'm used to. You have all sorts of things you have to consider when writing a script, and being really concise with a 2-minute television hit as opposed to, say, 900 words on a newspaper. But it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great time, and I really enjoy the media contingent in Calgary as well. It's certainly quite different than Montreal, and it's been a blast so far.
Well, they are very kind. My word, including yourself, by the way, I would put yourself in that Calgary media contingent, and I appreciate you being so nice every time I bump into you in the press box. And wouldn't it be something if this team went on to the Stanley Cup final? What do you think the chances are? Because this city's bumping already, and we're still a ways away from the playoffs.
It is. It's exciting to see. I'm really happy that I've gotten to tell these stories and be in this situation in what looks like a once in a generation season. Everything's firing on all cylinders. The team doesn't really have any areas that you see as weak areas. Their defense has been really good. Their forwards can score. There is a buzz around the city. People want to talk more. People are excited. I do think there's a bit of hesitation, Rod. There is still some trepidation that, hey, we've only won one playoff series in since 2004, basically. And there are a few interesting things that I didn't realize about the fan base first moving here. You don't realize which players are perhaps cult heroes, which players are not liked at all. And one thing for me, I didn't realize, Rod, is just how stinging that loss to Colorado in 2019 was, and just how demoralizing that defeat was to this fan base. And you talk to people, they bring it up on their own accord that we remember getting blown out by Colorado in 5 games, and that's still fresh over here. So I think the fans are excited, but that Colorado loss still has a lingering effect 3 years later. But it's tough to ignore that there is something special about this team. And the way that they're playing now is very different than that 2019 group. Calgary's not focused on outscoring opponents every night. They're focused on 2-1, 1-0, 3-2 type games. They check all over the ice. They're really tough to play against. And you look at the development of players. Johnny Gaudreau is now a defensively reliable forward who is counted on by Darryl Sutter to kill games with a minute left and they're up by a goal. So there are a few factors that are really different from this team, 2022 versus the 2019 group. There is a buzz in this city, but Flames fans do have that memory of just how heartbreaking and unexpected that loss to Colorado was a couple of years ago.
Well, as you pointed out, it's a different coach. It's a winning coach, and hopefully they can get past those ghosts. As you know, I've been trying to get you on the show for a while. I appreciate that you finally had a day that you're able to do it. Salim, thanks for this, and we'll see you in the Saddledome.
Absolutely, Rod. Looking forward to chatting again. And yeah, see you in the press box.
Thank you, bud. Salim Valji, TSN Calgary. Join us to talk Calgary Flames. Overtime's next. Viewer takeover, where we turn it over to you. We'll be right back. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network, available all across Alberta and BC on the TELUS Optic TV network, cable carrier, also live streaming on YouTube, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Got a sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Beautiful look at Tsuut'ina Nation, a beautiful area. Treaty 7 land right in behind the hotel and casino here at Grey Eagle in Calgary, Alberta, just outside Calgary, Alberta, southwest as a matter of fact. It is overtime, proudly presented by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the National Hockey League and the UFC. Takona Pale in Winnipeg, whose real name is Paul, writes in and says, is that Stinger game televised at all tonight? Well, listen up. It's in our sports update. The Canadian Elite Basketball League has announced that NBA TV Canada will nationally televise both games featuring the CEBL champion Edmonton Stingers during the upcoming third window of group stage play in the Basketball Champions League Americas, BCLA, in Calgary. Edmonton will host Puerto Rico Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Mountain, so that's 8:30 yours, Takona. And what is it, Lee? Nicaragua Wednesday, as we bring in Lee Genier, our co-host today. What a wonderful time we've had with him. Both games will take place at Winsport Arena in Calgary. Also, the Edmonton Elks officially announcing the signing of American kicker Sergio Castillo to a 2-year contract today. Chris Jones making the deal. Castillo joined the Blue Bombers late last season, helped the club capture a second straight Grey Cup title. And Toronto Maple Leafs forward Austin Matthews has been suspended 2 games for cross-checking Buffalo Sabres defenseman Rasmus Dahlin during Sunday's Heritage Classic. NHL player safety announced Monday. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis, and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. I've had mine for the day. It was almond chocolate chip. Lee and I will be taking in Grey Eagle Casino Buffet today. Where's the beef? About 80 yards that way. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
It's so good. It's so good. Hey, I've got to say this because they are a partner of ours, and it's important to ask, for me to ask you this question. This BCLA tournament, Basketball Champions League Americas, is in Calgary because they're using this city as a test market for a CEBL franchise, expansion franchise. So what do people got to do? Fill the park tonight if they want it? You're not born and raised here, but raised here.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's great basketball. I mean, it's right. Win sport. Monday night, what else do you have to do? I mean, you're going to see some amazing basketball tonight. World caliber basketball.
Right, but that is for basketball fans. What about people that aren't basketball fans? I wasn't a lacrosse fan when you called me and said, will you come up and watch the Rush? And I was hooked.
They'll put on a great show tonight. It'll be an entertainment in addition to the basketball.
But do you think this city would be a good spot for a CEBL franchise?
Absolutely. And I know groups that are interested have spoken to them in the last week. So absolutely there is. It's just about finding a suitable venue. I think the Saddle Dome obviously is too big. Winsport, I think, can be, if you can get it up there to 3,500 fans. The problem is just finding an adequate venue here.
Well, so interesting. So there's your answer, Paul in Winnipeg, that NBA TV Canada will be airing the games tonight, but so too is CBC Gem, which I've been watching CEBL games on for the last 2 years. And we should mention that, Lee, you were one of the, what would I say? Would founders be too strong of a term for CEBL? And just show that logo under your jacket there. It's around behind your microphone. Pull it out in front of the camera. There you go. Edmonton Stingers. You helped design every logo on the league. Like, these logos they're beautiful. My favorite's Saskatchewan, of course, but
love that one.
That's the snake. That's the Rattlers. The colors are forest green and sand. Oh, I love it. That must have been a lot of fun starting a league, man.
It was doing, and all the little details of, finding some nuances of what they meant to each, province, city, you name it.
Well, and I know that the league wants to be, if I may, CFL of basketball or more. What did it mean that Xavier Moon, 3-time league MVP, went on to the LA Clippers? What does that say for the league?
Oh, yeah, graduating players to the NBA. I mean, that doesn't get much bigger, right? And it's not just Xavier. There's other players. Armani Brooks, who plays for the Houston Rockets, was on our roster in Saskatchewan. Didn't actually play a game for us, but yeah, he's been on this show. Yeah, he's been on the show, but he's a staple in Houston right now, lighting it up.
Yeah, thanks to you. Well, we are inside the final minute. John in Edmonton says, I was glad he retired. I'm upset he's returned. Referring to Tom Brady. Well, John, I don't know what to say about that. You're in the minority. How can you not love Tom Brady? I don't get it. Leave him wanting more. There's more comments here that we'll get to tomorrow. Lee, thanks for coming on. It's been a blast.
It has been. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to the crew. We tried with Andy McNamara. Maybe we'll do it later on in the week. Thanks to Salim Valji, Lee Genier, most of all you, for keeping us on the air every day. We'll see you tomorrow, noon Eastern. We don't know what we're doing.
How about that? Hot take. LFG. Let's go. Right on. Approved. Spicy. Bob's your uncle. Oh no.